Today, we are taking a deep dive into something that sits right at the heart of our emotional well being, our faith, and the future of our communities, the sacred institution of marriage and the power of family unity. Look around at today's cultural landscape. We are living in an era where divorce rates are climbing and more people than ever are choosing to stay single. Not necessarily because they want to be alone, but because they feel disillusionment. There's a widespread fear of commitment, a search for an impossible ideal partner, and a prevailing culture of individualism. When society trains us to be hyper focused on the self, on what am I getting out of this, rather than what are we building together, relationships become fragile. As soon as the wind blows, the structure collapses. Today, I want to talk about what happens when two people choose to stand on the same boat, pulling the oars in the same direction. We are going to explore this from two complementary angles: the spiritual foundation of Islam and the real world psychological impacts on our children. Before we go further, let me clarify an essential point. We are talking today about healthy, intentional marriages where both partners strive for mutual goodness. Islam does not require anyone to endure emotional, physical, or psychological abuse. Oppression has no place in a home. What we are advocating for today is the beauty of harmonious unity, a partnership built on purpose, patience, and shared values. In Islamic tradition, marriage is described as completing half of one's spiritual path, deen. But why does it hold such immense weight? Allah says in the Quran in Surah Ar-Rum, and among his signs is that he created for you mates from among yourselves that you may dwell in tranquility with them. And he has put between you love and mercy. Notice the three key words here: tranquility, sakina, love, mawadda, and mercy, rahmah. Islam does not view marriage merely as a legal contract or a romantic aesthetic. It views marriage as a sanctuary, a place of rest from the noise of the world outside. Mawadda is the active, affectionate love when things are going great. Rahmah is the grace, compassion, and forbearance you extend to one another when life gets hard, when you make mistakes. Rahmah is the grace, compassion, and the forbearance you extend to one another when life gets hard, when mistakes happen, or when your youth fades. When a husband and wife enter a union with the intention of pleasing their Creator, every act of kindness becomes an act of worship. Sharing a smile, handling a chore, listening to your spouse after a long day. These daily acts pull down blessings, barakah, into the household. When you share the same moral compass, financial struggles feel lighter, hardships bring you closer instead of tearing you apart, and the home becomes a place of peace rather than a battleground of egos. Now, let's look at this through a psychological lens. How does the health of a marriage shape the mind and soul of a growing child? Children are like emotional sponges. They regulate the internal world by watching the external world of their parents. When a child grows up in a stable home where a mother and a father operates as a unified team, it creates a psychological framework known as a secure attachment. Number one, emotional regulation. Children who see their parents navigate disagreements with respect learn how to handle conflict healthily. They don't grow up carrying chronic anxiety about whether their world will fall apart tomorrow. Number 2, complementary dynamics. Mothers and fathers bring distinctive complementary nurturing styles, energies, and boundary systems to parenting. Having both present in a harmonious environment gives children a balanced foundation for their own self-identity and emotional resilience. Number 3, predictability and routine. Stability is a child's basic need. Now, let's be real and compassionate. Raising children as a single parent is a heroic, selfless effort. Millions of single mothers and fathers work tirelessly to give their children loving homes, and many of those kids grow up to be the remarkably successful, level-headed adults. However, we cannot ignore the systemic reality that single parent households carry an immense, unfair burden. One parent is forced to do the work of two. When a marriage breaks down and children are shuffled between two separate homes, two sets of rules, and dual dynamics, it creates psychological disruption. Disruption breeds uncertainty. Children transitioning between homes often carry a subtle, constant mental stress. Which house am I in today? Whose rules apply? Am I picking sides? This instability can manifest outwardly as behavioral struggles, difficulty concentrating at school, emotional withdrawal, or in some cases, seeking belonging in harmful outside groups. Stability in the home acts as a protective shield against these risks. If we want to build a resilient generation, we have to start by rebuilding our view of marriage. Marriage isn't about finding a perfect person. It's about two imperfect people committing to a shared path with patience, humility, and purpose. When husband and wife choose unity over ego, you give your children a peaceful place to land every night. You show them what healthy love looks like in practice, not just in theory. You invite Allah's blessing into your home through love, mercy, and mutual care. If you are currently married, invest in your foundation today. Practice mercy, speak with kindness, and remember that your home is the primary school for your children's souls. And if you are seeking a partner, look beyond the superficial. Look for character, emotional maturity, and shared faith. Thank you for tuning in.